So, starting with the urinary system, we start at the kidneys right here. You can't see them in the male, but they're up there. And coming from the kidneys is that's where filtration occurs and everything. And coming from the kidneys, the urine will go to the bladder through the ureters, right here, one from each kidney. And same thing over here for males. Here's a ureter. There's another one here. We just haven't taken out of the tissue, but there's two. Okay, and then the ureters feed into the bladder, which has three layers of detrusor muscle. And the inside of the bladder will be the lumen. That's where the urine is stored until it's ready to leave the body. And when it does, it'll go through the urethra and then out the body. Cool. Really, right here. Yeah, it's really, I can't stress how simple this is. Urethra. All right, cool. Cool. All right, so to the female reproductive system. We'll start here right in the middle at the uterine body. These are the uterine horns right here. The uterine horns in the cat are a little bit elongated. Anybody guess why?
They have a lot of cats.
Yep, they have a litter, so there needs to be more space.
Oh.
So, those are the uterine horns leading right here to this little bulge at the top right there. That's the ovary, right there and right there. And that ovary is where the egg will actually develop, where it gets developed. Okay, and then around the ovary, you'll have a little tube here. That's your fallopian tube. Cool. Oh yeah. Any questions on that? Cool. And then, so starting back at the uterine body, moving down, the uterine body leads into the vagina right here. So you have your urethra on top, then the vagina beneath, and where they connect way down, you can see vagina, 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 urethra, 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 and that way down here where they connect, that's the urogenital sinus. Cool. I don't know if everybody can see that, but do
No,
you
it
all
works.
see that over there where these two connect right there? Everybody saw that. So vagina, urethra, and they connect right there. That's the urogenital sinus. Any questions? Cool. Can I scoot over here? So that's the female reproductive system. Now on to the males. I didn't actually mention this to the other three rows, so you guys are kind of lucky. I forgot this was on there. I'll be starting with sperm production leading to and through ejaculation. Okay. Um, so this right here, this layer of tissue, that's the scrotum. It just wraps around the testy, and this being the testy right here. Okay, so I have to mention that to the other three rows. But okay, so here's the testes. That's where sperm is produced. This white layer of tissue around it, that's the epididymis. Okay, so the sperm will be produced in the testes and then go to the epididymis to mature. So that's where the sperm will actually mature. Now, leaving the epididymis, the sperm will go travel through the spermatic cord, which is outside the body, and it's been cut, but that will be it right there. Then the spermatic cord goes into the body through the urogenital sinus right there. So where my probe is sticking through, that's the urogenital sinus. You can also see it from the inside, right here. Cool. Lane, you sure you can see everything there? Cool. Okay, now coming out of did I say urogenital sinus?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not the urogenital sinus. I'm sorry, the inguinal canal. Yeah, I did that for the other row too. So that's the inguinal canal where the spermatic cord goes through, and when the spermatic cord exits, it's no longer the spermatic cord. It's three separate structures. Those structures are the spermatic vein, which is the blue one right here, the spermatic artery, which isn't in this cat, but will be running right beside the spermatic vein, in red, obviously. And then the third structure is this right here, and that's the vas deferens. Yeah, absolutely. So inguinal canal, where the spermatic cord runs through and out, and then when it exits, it's no longer the spermatic cord, it's the spermatic vein, which is in blue, the spermatic artery, which would be in red, but it's not in this cat, and then the vas deferens, which is right here. Okay. The vas deferens is what is cut when a male has a vasectomy, which makes sense. This you can make all the sperm you want, but if it's not actually being ejaculated, there's nothing. You're not going to get anything pregnant. Okay.
Where does it go? Like,
That I don't know, and that's always been a question of mine. Like, what happens with the buildup? I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't build up. Lance, you look like you know. What'd you say? Okay, that would make sense. But yeah, I've always wondered that same thing. What happens? Um, so the vas deferens loops kind of around the bladder, right here. Is the ejaculatory canal, and then it will connect right here, the ejaculatory canal with the urethra, and then the semen will be ejaculated through the penis right here, and that hole is right there. Okay, the penis would come out, and the semen would be ejaculated. Now, there's some things I want to bring up about that ejaculation process. The mature sperm will go through the spermatic cord, through the vas deferens. There it will go to the seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicle will add a fluid, and that fluid, the seminal fluid, and now the sperm is no longer called sperm, it's officially semen, okay, which makes sense. Seminal fluids added becomes semen. So now the semen will go from the seminal vesicle to the, right here, to the prostate gland, and that prostate gland will actually add a milky fluid, and that activates the semen. So now you have activated semen, and then it will flow, and the prostate gland is this little bulge right here. What is that? No, this is it right here. This little bulge.
Where?
The little bulge, that's the prostate gland. The prostate gland will add, oh, I said that already, will add a milky fluid that will activate the semen. And then the last stop before it's ejaculated will be the bulbourethral gland, or the also known as the Cooper's gland. That gland will add an alkaline fluid to the semen, that activated semen, because the purpose of semen is to be ejaculated into the vagina of a female so that pregnancy can occur, and that can't happen if the environment in the vagina is a little bit more acidic, and the semen will, die, denature, degrade, however you want to call it. So the bulbourethral gland will secrete that alkaline substance to protect the semen in its new environment when it is ejaculated. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So all those fluids together is what we know as semen or ejaculate. Cool. I showed you the penis and the prostate gland. That's it, guys. That's everything.